Good morning, everyone. Little story time. I just wanted to tell you guys a little story about these two right here. When I got these two pups, 7 years ago, this guy here was a year old, and this girl here was 2 years old. They came from South Carolina, and they were rescues. When we went to the shelter, I saw an advertisement that these two were looking for a home, and they were hoping to get them together because when they were out in South Carolina, they were together in a shelter for 3 months, and they bonded together in that shelter. So when they came here to Maine, they were in a shelter, and they had been there for about a month, and they were looking for a home for them. Their names are Jack and Jill. That's what the shelters named them, and I kept them that way. But when we got to the shelter, they just sat in a corner and shivered. They were so scared of everything in this world. So my husband and I decided to take them home. At the time, we lived on 14 acres out in very rural area in Maine. Nothing but woods around. So we took them home, and I told my husband that even if they stayed in the garage, they'd be happier than where they were. Because every time people would walk by, they were petrified, and they were just so scared of everything. So we took them home, and look at this happy little girl right here. We took them home, and it actually took us, okay, this turned into a long story. When we got them home, 2 days after we got them home, I accidentally spooked them, and their leashes got twisted and out of my hand. So they were loose for 2 weeks. It took me, we went through a little dog cage. I caught a raccoon, I caught a baby raven, but I could not catch the dogs. So we knew they were hanging around the area. We were feeding them. We were spraying bouillon spray out there, and so we ended up getting a kennel, and we actually caught them with the stake on the rope trick. So it took, I would say, when I'd bring these guys into the house, I'd walk them into the walkway, I'd take the leashes off, and they would go straight to a blanket. They would not move from that blanket till I put a leash on them and bring them back out the door. It took about 15 minutes to get them to come in and out of the doorway. So they were quite the process, these two. But they have come so far in 7 years. I mean, as you can see, they're very, very happy-go-lucky puppies right now. But still, nobody can touch them, except for me and my husband. They're starting to eat from his hands after 7 years. When we first got them, they wouldn't even eat in front of us. We had to feed them and leave because they wouldn't eat if we were there. So they were very, very, very skittish of everything. So now we live out here. We have 21 acres. And I remember saying to my husband one time, "Do you think they'll ever let me in their pack?" And I'd have to say now, I'm the leader of their pack. But these two have a bond that's just so amazing. And I don't even know how to explain the bond that these two have with each other. This guy here, even though he was younger, he would stand over her and protect her. Anytime we'd turn the TV on, and she would crawl underneath him because she was afraid of the TV. But yeah, so just want to say, if anybody's out there and thinking about rescuing a dog, I'll tell you what, it is so worth it to watch them transform into happy pups like this. I hope you all enjoyed this little story. I hope you have a great day. I gotta get ready for vacation. We'll talk again later. Bye. Don't forget, smile.